this is Julia, and welcome to Convos with Julia. So today's question is, how do I read and write as someone who is blind? So there are lots of ways that I can read and write, but today I'm going to be focusing on Braille. I already addressed this topic in another video that's on my dad's channel.
This is my Brailler, where I spend a lot of my time writing stories, doing homework, writing letters and cards, and so on.
So if you want to watch that, the link will be in the description. But this is going to be just a bit of an updated version of that. So Braille is basically a written language for blind people because you don't need to see in order to do it. It's all based on touch. You've probably seen Braille before in public places like elevators and public washrooms because people do that in order to make things accessible, those places accessible for blind people as well as sighted people. So when I read Braille, I feel bumps called raised dots on a page in different patterns that create different letters and words. So when I run my finger along the patterns, I'm able to make out different letters and words from the dots that I'm touching. So in front of me, I have one of my very many Braille books. Trust me, I have a lot. I have 2 shelves full. So anyways, there are a bunch of dots, Braille dots here. As you can see, I'm running my fingers along them, and they are all different patterns, as you can see. So those are the patterns that create the Braille letters and words that I read all the time. So I'm going to read one of my lines now. Cheyenne swam out of a dream where she had been lost and running into things. Are you hungry? Griffin asked from the doorway. So that is just one of the lines out of the book. And this particular book, not all Braille books are like this, but this particular book is in contracted Braille. It's actually called Grade 2 Braille. So basically what that is that there are short forms that have been put into Braille so that to make my writing and my reading quicker, and so that Braille won't take up as much room. Because as you know, Braille is kind of bulky and thick. So in order to make it not take up so much room and stuff, they have added in contractions. So for example, there is a contraction for TH. So there is one contraction that makes up the letters T and H, and another contraction that makes up the letters I and G. So the word thing can actually only consist of 2 Braille characters. So when I was younger, oftentimes when it'd be past my bedtime and my parents would tell me to go to sleep, I would be under my covers reading because I don't need light to read. Like oftentimes my parents would say, lights out everyone, and I'd be like, okay, sure, lights out, got it. And then there'd be me just under my covers just like reading my Braille book. Because I'm like, oh, I don't need light for that. My parents said lights out. My lights are out. I'm reading. So now we're moving on to how I write Braille. So there's 2 ways that I can write Braille. I can write Braille electronically on a Braille machine I have called an Apex, or I can write it through my Perkins Brailler, which is a machine I have right here that I'm going to bring in. So here sitting in front of me is my Perkins Brailler that I use to write in Braille every single day. The keys on this Brailler, so keys number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are what make up the letters that I type. This is key number 1, key 2, 3, and then the space bar is beside it. And on the other side is keys number 4, 5, and 6. And on either side at the end, beside the first 3 keys, is the enter key that is used to go to the next line. And the key on the other side of the 4, 5, 6 is the backspace key. So if I make a mistake, I can backspace it and delete. So I'm going to put in some paper so I can do some writing here. To write Braille, different letters are different key combinations pressed together. Although the Brailler is a lot like a typewriter, on a typewriter, you just type the different letters, whereas on a Brailler, you have to do key combinations in order to create the letters. So, for example, A is key number 1, so I'm going to create an A right now. And I'm going to press the space bar so I can create something else. Keys number 1 and 2 creates a B. So, I did that, that's a B. And now keys number 1 and 4 is a C. It continues, it goes on and on and on. But there are some more complicated letters, like Z. Z is pretty complicated. Z is keys 1, 3, 5, 6. So that is a Z right there. That is basically what Braille is like. You just type in the different combinations and then you can create your letters and you can write. Sometimes I've had the problem where I write really fast and I don't know when the new line's coming because I'm just writing so fast I'm not paying attention. But there is a bell at the end. So when you get to the end of the line, so if I just keep writing, let's just say I'm just pressing the space bar, but let's just say I was writing. That means that I'm coming to the end of the line and I need to go to a new line in order to write more Braille. After a while, after I've been doing it for as long as I have, like for my whole life basically, you learn to write pretty quickly, so I can type pretty fast. So I'm just going to write a sentence or 2 for you in the speed that I would normally write. So I wrote, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. And if you have any questions for me that you would like to ask, ask, leave them in the comments and I will try to answer them as soon as I can. See ya!